Have you ever looked inside a computer and wondered, what does all of this actually do? You see a CPU, RAM, a graphics card, an SSD, a motherboard, a power supply, fans and cables everywhere. But how do all these parts work together to turn a collection of electronic components into a computer? In this video, we're going to take a complete tour inside a computer and explain the most important parts in simple terms. Let's start with the part most people have heard about, the CPU. The CPU stands for Central Processing Unit. You can think of the CPU as one of the main decision-making and processing components of a computer. It executes instructions. When you open an application, perform a calculation, load a website, or run part of the game, the CPU processes instructions involved in those tasks. A CPU contains billions of tiny transistors in modern processors. It also contains components such as cores, cache, registers, and other circuitry that help it process instructions quickly. Modern CPUs can have multiple cores. Each core can execute instructions, allowing the processor to handle multiple tasks efficiently. But the CPU needs somewhere to work with data. That's where RAM comes in. RAM stands for Random Access Memory. Think of RAM as your computer's temporary workspace. When you open a program, parts of that program and its data are loaded into RAM so the CPU can access them quickly. For example, imagine you're editing a video. Your video files may be stored on an SSD, but when you're actually working with the video, the computer uses RAM to hold data that needs to be accessed quickly. RAM is much faster to access than long-term storage, but RAM has one major characteristic: it is volatile memory. That means its contents are normally lost when the computer loses power. So when you shut down your PC, the information that was temporarily stored in RAM disappears. This is why RAM and storage are not the same thing. And speaking of storage, let's look at the SSD. An SSD is a solid-state drive. This is where your computer can permanently store data. Your operating system, applications, games, photos, videos, and documents can all be stored on an SSD. Unlike traditional hard disk drives, SSDs have no spinning magnetic platters. Instead, SSDs use flash memory that makes them much faster, quieter, and more resistant to physical shock than traditional mechanical hard drives. When you turn off your computer, the information stored on the SSD remains there. Think about our earlier analogy. RAM is your temporary work desk. The SSD is more like a storage room. You keep your files there even when you're not using the computer. HDD. Before SSDs became common, many computers used HDDs, or hard disk drives. An HDD stores data magnetically on spinning disks called platters. A mechanical arm moves across the platters to read and write information. Because HDDs contain moving mechanical parts, they are generally slower than SSDs, but HDDs can still be useful when you need large amounts of inexpensive storage. So you can think of it this way: SSD equals fast, solid-state storage, HDD equals mechanical storage with spinning disks, GPU. Now let's talk about one of the most popular computer components, the GPU. GPU stands for Graphics Processing Unit. The GPU is designed to perform large numbers of calculations in parallel. This makes it extremely useful for graphics. When you're playing a game, the GPU helps create the images you see on your monitor. It processes things like lighting, textures, shapes, colors, and other graphical calculations. But GPUs aren't only used for gaming, they're also used for video editing, 3D rendering, scientific computing, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and many other workloads. Some computers have graphics built into the CPU. Others use a separate graphics card with a dedicated GPU, motherboard. Now we need something that connects all these components. That's the motherboard. The motherboard is the large circuit board inside your computer. It provides connections between the CPU, RAM, storage, GPU, and many other components. It also contains important circuits and connectors that allow these components to communicate. Think of the motherboard like the road system of a city. The CPU, RAM, GPU, and storage are different locations. The motherboard provides the pathways that allow information and power to move between them. You'll also find things like RAM slots, PCI Express slots, storage connectors, USB connections, and other interfaces on the motherboard. And there's another important component attached to it, the CPU socket, CPU cooler. CPUs generate heat while operating. The harder the CPU works, the more heat it can produce. That's why computers need cooling. A CPU cooler removes heat from the processor and transfers it away so the CPU can operate within safe temperatures. There are two common types of CPU cooling: air cooling and liquid cooling. Air coolers usually use a metal heatsink and a fan. Liquid coolers use a liquid-filled system to move heat away from the CPU and eventually transfer it to a radiator. Without proper cooling, a CPU can become extremely hot and may reduce its performance or shut down to protect itself. PSU. Now we have powerful components that need electricity. That's the job of the PSU, or power supply unit. The PSU takes electrical power from the wall and converts it into the appropriate electrical power needed by the computer's components. It supplies power to the motherboard, CPU, GPU, storage drives, fans, and other components. The PSU is one of the most important parts of a computer because every other component depends on stable power. Think of it as the computer's power station. Without it, nothing works. Computer case. Now let's talk about something that looks simple but has an important job: the computer case. The case holds and protects the internal components. It also helps manage airflow. Fans can pull cool air into the case and push hot air out. Good airflow helps keep the components at reasonable temperatures. The case also provides mounting points for components and gives you access to ports such as USB and audio connections. So the case isn't just a box, it's the structure that holds everything together. Network adapter. How does your computer connect to the internet? That's where a network adapter comes in. A computer may have Ethernet, Wi-Fi, or both. An Ethernet connection uses a physical network cable. Wi-Fi uses wireless radio communication. The network adapter handles the communication between your computer and the network. So when you browse a website, download a file, or play an online game, the network hardware helps send and receive that data. Sound hardware. Your computer also needs a way to process audio. Most modern motherboards include built-in audio hardware. This allows your computer to send audio to headphones, speakers, and other devices. It can also receive audio through a microphone. Dedicated sound cards also exist, although many users don't need one because modern onboard audio is already quite capable. CMOS battery. Here's a tiny component that many people forget about: the CMOS battery. It's a small battery located on the motherboard. It helps maintain certain motherboard settings and keeps the real-time clock running when the main computer power is off. If this battery becomes weak or fails, you may notice problems such as incorrect system time or BIOS settings being reset on some systems. It's a tiny component, but it has an important job: USB, HDMI, Ethernet, and other ports. Now look at the back of a typical computer. You'll probably see lots of different ports. USB ports connect devices such as keyboards, mice, storage drives, phones, and other peripherals. HDMI and DisplayPort can send video and audio to a monitor or television. Ethernet connects your computer to a network using a cable. Audio ports connect headphones, microphones, and speakers. Each port is designed for a specific type of connection, and these ports allow your computer to communicate with devices outside the case, keyboard, and mouse. So far, we've mostly talked about what's inside the computer. But what about the devices you use to control it? The keyboard and mouse are input devices. They allow you to send commands and information to the computer. When you press a key, the keyboard sends information to the computer. When you move the mouse, its sensor detects movement and sends that information to the computer. The operating system then uses that input to control what happens on the screen. Monitor. And finally, we need a way to see the result. That's the monitor. A monitor is an output device. It receives visual information from the computer and displays it as an image. Modern displays are made of millions of tiny pixels. Each pixel can produce different colors, and together those pixels create the images you see. When you're watching a video, playing a game, or browsing the web, the monitor is showing you the final visual output produced by the computer. How everything works together. Now let's put all of these parts together. Imagine you open a game. First, the game is stored on your SSD. The computer loads the necessary data into RAM. The CPU processes instructions from the game. The GPU handles graphics calculations. The motherboard allows these components to communicate. The PSU provides power. The cooling system removes heat. The network adapter connects you to online servers if the game requires internet access. Your monitor displays the final image, and your keyboard and mouse send your commands back into the computer. All of these components work together. That's what makes a computer a computer. The simple way to remember everything. Let's make it extremely simple. The CPU processes instructions. RAM provides temporary working memory. The SSD, or HDD, stores your data. The GPU processes graphics. The motherboard connects the major components. The PSU provides power. The cooler removes heat. The case protects and houses everything. The network adapter connects your computer to networks. The audio hardware handles sound. The ports connect external devices, the keyboard and mouse provide input, and the monitor provides visual output. Each component has a different job, but none of them works completely alone. So the next time you look inside a computer, you won't just see a bunch of confusing parts, you'll see a system, a CPU processing instructions, RAM holding temporary data, storage keeping your files, a GPU creating graphics, a motherboard connecting everything, a PSU supplying power, and cooling systems keeping the hardware alive. That's the amazing thing about computers. Thousands of different electronic components work together so that you can simply click a button, open a game, watch a video, or browse the internet. If this video helped you understand what's inside your computer, subscribe to Byteboard for more simple explanations of complicated technology. And if you want me to explain one of these computer parts in much more detail, let me know in the comments. See you in the next video.